What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video. Today we're going to be doing a video on the Contest of Mayors, the most up-to-date video for what you guys need to know if you're just starting out, and what you need to know if you, maybe you played the Contest of Mayors prior to the milestones, back when we had the streaks assignments, and you're familiar with my channel and you just want to know what changes you need to implement now that we don't have the streaks. So I'm going to be doing the video for both types of players, okay? So you might hear some stuff that you already know, and in that case, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. I have to speak to everybody, okay? If you haven't already done so, hit the like and subscribe button. You can join us on our Facebook page at SimCity Build It, MissyAnneTTVYT. We do have some spots available in our group. We are no longer requiring super active Contest of Mayors players, but you do need to play efficiently and have goals set. Watch the group rules video and the new members video, and then hit me up on Facebook, okay? Okay, so Contest of Mayors has changed quite a bit over the last several years, right? First we had the Contest of Mayors where it was just a normal list. There was no streaks, there was no milestones. I really wish they would just go back to that. It was simpler, and it didn't cost the player as much as it does now. The one thing that you'll notice about this game is it is extremely time consuming, okay? And I don't mean like a little time consuming, I mean full-time job time consuming, or more actually. The amount of work that you have to put in to be successful in this game is absolutely ridiculous if you want to actually do really, really well. So if you are somebody who really doesn't have a whole lot of time to devote to the Contest of Mayors, well, then you're probably not going to want to waste all of your resources going for the win. Now, right now, one of the biggest issues that we're dealing with is hackers. Okay, now this issue was resolved for some time when we had the streaks assignments, and then with the latest update, I don't know what they did, but they did something, because now the hackers can change the amount on the assignment that they're doing, like the milestone assignment, and they can just collect an outrageous amount of points all at once. Some of the hackers, they don't do it that way. They just collect smaller increments as to not alert anybody, and then they're able to win either way. So right now, a lot of people aren't even competing because of this. In fact, a lot of people have just quit playing the game altogether, right? So the first thing that you need to do is decide if you want to even take on that kind of risk, okay? The second thing that you have to decide is, if you are going to take on that kind of risk, is how much you're going to invest before you opt out, right? So if you're somebody who says, you know what, I'm going to compete until I have an issue with a hacker or something, well, each week is going to be different, because each week you're going to be placed with a different group of people, right? So each week it's going to be a new level of risk. So you're going to have to watch your leaderboard regularly for points jumps and things like that. I'm going to be doing a video on how to spot hackers, but right now we're going to talk about what you need to know to choose the right assignment. There is a lot when it comes to the Contest of Mayors, not just pick your highest assignment. That is the biggest myth in SimCity, is that you just choose your highest assignment. And I'll explain why that is the most ridiculous thing ever, okay? So when I first wrote the guide, when you're looking at a list, and I'm going to show you guys a list here, okay? When you're looking at a list of assignments like this, notice how this is a starting list. You can just ignore the streaks assignment here. So it's got 60 assignments remaining. That means that this person is in Mega, okay? Notice how the starting list starts with the highest assignment on the top, and then it goes down like that. So highest to lowest is how it starts you off, okay? Now, what we have to do when we choose an assignment is we have X amount of assignments. So in this case, X would be 60 assignments, right? We have a total of 60 assignments this week. Out of those 60 assignments, plus our tickets, which is 15 tickets, so 75 assignments in total, we need to score the highest out of everybody in our list, in our leaderboard, right? How can we ensure that that's going to happen? By just simply choosing the highest assignment? No, that's not quite how simple. It's not quite that simple, okay? I wish it was. It would make my life a lot easier, quite frankly. But no, that's not the case, okay? And I'm going to show you why. So, delivery to Tokyo is 3,000 points, okay? Now, every single assignment has a maximum value that it can be, right? So let's say that you have the maximum value on this assignment, but then every assignment also has value increments. So it can be an assignment that is always worth the same amount every time, or it could be an assignment that has 3 different value points, like 1,000 sometimes, then 2,000 sometimes, 3,000 sometimes, and so on, right? So what we have to do is we have to look at every single assignment within the contest of mayors, and we have to say, okay, which assignments can be worth the most points? Of those assignments that can be worth the most points, what do we mark those as? What do we call those? Because now they're a category. We're categorizing, right? The highest assignments are high premiums. They can be worth over 3,000 points. Okay? So things like the Launch Legendary assignment can be worth 3,600 points. Upgrade Old Town Home, Upgrade Latin Home, those can be worth 3,600 points. They're not always worth 3,600, but they can be. Okay? So the option is there. So now we say, okay, there aren't really that many assignments that can be worth that much, right? So what is the next step down? 3,000 points. Okay? So what assignments can be worth 3,000 points? We call those premium assignments. So any assignment that has the ability to be worth up to 3,000 points is a premium assignment. Any assignment that has the ability to be worth over that is a high premium. So what do we call the assignments that cannot be worth 3,000 points? Rotatables. Okay? They're assignments that we do when we don't have premiums or high premiums in our list to bring in more premiums and high premiums. Because remember, the goal here is to get as many points as possible, right? So essentially, we have to look at what that specific assignment is capable of, right? Before we make any choice. Then we have to look at what is in our current list right now. So we have the prediction side of the contest of mayors, which is high premium, premium, non-premium, which non-premium would be any assignment that cannot be worth 3,000 points. So anything below 3,000 is considered a non-premium assignment. Okay? So we have the prediction side. You're going to go through and you're going to label everything on the left side of the screen here. Okay? So this one can be worth up to 3,000. And if you're not going to know this stuff unless you refer to the guide. Okay? This document is that guide. There's also a quick charts sheet that you can look at. It's in this document down below, and it's just a grid chart that says, okay, I'll show it to you. Here, look. Figure out where I put it. It's in here somewhere. It might be up at the top. This is just the long version of it. Okay, right here. Right here, comm charts, okay? So see how it says the assignment? And it says NP, and then it tells you the value that it can be between. So it starts at 800 and then it goes all the way up to 2,400, right? So non-premium, and that is the amount. That's the value. This is the information section. It tells you a little bit of what you need to know about the assignment. This is the opportunity section, and we're going to get to what that means, algorithm and risk. Okay, we'll get to that later. So right now, we're looking at this list, and we're saying, okay, We're going to grab our quick sheet. We're going to go through and we're going to label everything premium, non-premium, high premium. So now we know what these assignments that we currently have are capable of doing, right? That is extremely important. So choosing your assignments is about categorizing everything and arranging it in such a way where you increase the odds of getting the best possible assignments. If you just simply click on the highest one in the list and only do that highest one in the list at all times, you're going to be keeping things that have good value possibilities at the bottom of the list because you're ignoring them because they're low value, right? So you're actually going to lower your score by doing that. It's been proven time and time and time again. And we'll get there here in just a second. So now you've got your prediction side of your task assessment completed. You've labeled everything on the left-hand side. You've got the premium Tokyo, premium deliveries, premium leaf simoleons, non-premium monster. We call shop productions for low-level players premium, even though technically they are not. Epic is non-premium, non-premium coins, premium on the VU, premium on the London, premium on the Green Valley, non-premium on the Design Challenge. Okay? Now, on the right side of the column, what do? So if you don't recall, I just said that I just said that the assignments down here at the bottom of this list are premium, right? So if you look here, we've got the London, we've got the VU, and the Green Valley. These are all at 1,000 points, but they're premium assignments. What does that mean? That means they can be worth up to 3,000 points, but they're down here for 1,000. What does that do for us? That means that as long as those are sitting there, we can't get them in for 3,000. So we've lowered our odds of getting good assignments because all three of these are at the bottom. So when do we rotate those in, though? Do we rotate them in right now and increase our odds immediately? No. Why? Because we have higher valued assignments up at the top. And if you don't recall, you're going to always have a variety of values. If we rotate all of the lower ones now with higher ones above, what are we doing? We're not just going to have a list filled up with high value assignments. That's not what's going to happen, right? So we need to start with doing the high assignments, but which one and why? Okay, you don't just close your eyes and pick. You don't just say, you know what, war's here and I just feel like doing the war delivery, so I'm going to do that first. You don't do that. You have to pick your assignments based on what is the correct choice on what's going to achieve the highest number of points at the end of the week, not what's convenient to your current gameplay, okay? You need to consider gameplay, like what's going on in your game, but you don't just say, you know what, I'm going to do the VU because I have the stuff and it's ready and I want to. No, you have to sacrifice, what's convenient for you to what's right, okay? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go through and we need to put a system, kind of like what we did with the premium and the non-premium, on what we currently have in our list. So what we're currently looking at, not what we're predicting, not what this assignment is capable of, but what this assignment is right now. So right now, we have an assignment for 3,000 points, okay? That is the highest value that that particular assignment can be, okay? So that would be where I would start, right? Because it's the highest one in the list. It's at its highest value point. It obviously can be worth 3,000 points in the future, but why else? Why else are we choosing that assignment? Well, we have to look at all categories. And when I wrote this guide, I had to think of any possible thing that you would consider, anything that would change your choice at all. I had to say, you know what, we got to categorize that. And you guys will come to me and you'll say, well, let's say we did the 3,000. Now we're looking at the war deliveries and the limestone coins, okay? And somebody says, well, which one do I do? Well, obviously you're going to go with the word deliveries. It's 300 higher, right? But why else? They're both premium. Yes? Okay. What if your city only has one regional unlocked? And that particular regional HQ is locked. That means you can't do limestone, right? So obviously you're going to have to go with the word deliveries. That is the game category. That is what is going on in your game specifically that would change the outcome of your choice, okay? So everything has a category to it. Anything that would change your choice is going to have a category. And we're going to go through all those categories that you have to consider here in just a minute. But right now, we need to label everything as to what it currently is. So right now, anything that is 2,000 points or higher in your list is considered to be a main assignment, okay? That is the assignment you're going to look at as your main choices. We put it at 2,000 because anything that is 2,000 points or higher is either a non-premium at its maximum value point or a premium at its midway value point, okay? So if a non-premium cannot be worth 3,000 points and something is in your list for 2,000 points or higher, that means that the non-premium is right around its max capacity, okay? If the premium is at 2,000 points or higher, it's not at its lowest value point and it's not at its highest. It's at its midway value point. So we made 2,000 the threshold for that. Anything in this list that is 2,000 points or higher, we mark with an M. That is a main task, okay? That is the task that you're going to look at first. Anything that is in the list below 2,000 points is going to be considered a rotatable assignment, okay? Unless it is a non-premium with a high algorithm. Algorithm being how fast that assignment will return. Some assignments come back faster than others, like way faster, okay? So you have to say, okay, if an assignment has the ability to be worth a low amount of points and it has a high rate of returning, wouldn't it mean that we would not want to do that assignment? Right, exactly. Past a certain threshold. So right now we have this monster assignment here. This particular assignment is a non-premium task. It cannot be worth 3,000 points. But right now it's at main task value. So it's taking up one of our good slots, one of our good points. So right now we would want to, do that when the time comes. But we have to consider that this is a high algorithm assignment. Extremely high, meaning it always returns right away, okay? With this assignment always being in your list and the fact that it cannot be worth very many points, we only do it if it's at this value or higher. And then otherwise, we leave it to sit for the duration of the contest, which in that case, we would mark it no touch, okay? So the right-hand column of your list will have things like main, rotatable, no touch / cancels. So if it's like, let's say, an upgrade and you're a low-level player, so you're camping and you can't do it, and it's at high value, you would mark it NT/C. So right now you're not going to be doing that assignment, but if it starts blocking you up, you may need to cancel it to bring in more high-valued tasks. If you are a low-level player and you have the last resort rotatable marked, what that means is it's similar to the monster assignment. So it cannot be worth very many points, and it has a high algorithm attached to it. But it has better opportunity, okay? And it's easier. So with the monster, he's only there a short period of time, and it costs a ridiculous amount of cash to bring him back in, and it's just all around annoying, right? Whereas the things like coins, keys, repair, those ones you can do more freely. They don't cost you cash. And usually the value points come back a little bit better. So we mark those non-premium, last resort rotatables if they're at their lowest value point. So 1200 would be their lowest value point. When you have the keys, the repair, they're worth 2,000 points or higher, or 1,600 points or higher. So anything besides its lowest value point, you can go ahead and complete it if you're a low-level player. If you're a high-level player, you only do it at main task value or higher, okay? All of this stuff is in the comm charts. You're just going to locate the assignment, read what you need to know about it. You're going to look at the opportunity category, the risk category, and the information category. So what you have to do is you've broken down everything into your predictive column and your current column, right? So you know what these assignments are capable of, and you know what the current assignments that you have are. Now you have to break it down even further, and you have to go through the whole list, and you have to say, okay, out of all of these assignments, this assignment is the best one because of all of these reasons why, right? Now, that can get quite difficult when it's not an obvious choice. Right now, the 3K Tokyo is pretty obvious. It's premium, it's 3,000 points, it's got good opportunity. I mean, what other reason would you pick anything but the Tokyo delivery? Well, a lot of people would pick it based on convenience. Surprisingly enough, there's a lot of new players that would not do the delivery to Tokyo. They would pick something else because it's more convenient. That is incorrect. You need to do the Tokyo delivery, pay the cash to bring the flight back in, and then pay the cash again to bring the flight back in. And you need to do it quickly because you have 75 assignments you have to get done by the time the week is over. And believe it or not, you don't want to spend 5 days working on your assignments because it's really going to suck if you do all this work, you spend 5 days dragging your feet, and then you find out you have a hacker in your league. And you've already invested all of this, time. Then you have to consider that you may have to do long factory production assignments that take quite some time. And in that case, you can't afford to just drag your feet. You also have to make up for your inventory that you've used up, your coins that you've used up. And if you spend all week long working on the contest of mayors, you're not going to have any time to take a break and to, replenish your stock for the following week. You're just going to be in this constant state of busting your butt. And then you're going to get one piddly day off, and then you're going to have to do it all over again. So it's very, very important that you get things done as quickly as you can and that you pay the price to get that done. So if you need to run a token to get stuff done, then you do so. If you have to pay the cash to bring the flights in, you cannot afford to wait a day and a half for that one assignment. Okay, you just can't. So speed is definitely very, very important, and you have to make sure that your city is prepared to do that. You need to have a high storage capacity so that you can have the right, stuff for your deliveries and all that. You need to have cash to play the contest of mayors. You shouldn't even bother if you don't have at least 300-400 cash. And you need to make sure that you're in a good group, okay, that can help you especially if you don't have enough storage. So you go through, you've labeled everything, you've got everything figured out. Now you're at a point where you don't know what to choose. All of your main tasks are gone, okay? So all your 2,000 points or higher tasks are dealt with. Now, as a low-level player, it's a little bit more complex. But like I said, we consider shop productions and factory productions to be premium to make it kind of easier on them to categorize it. So in this case, they would go with the paint because it's 320 points higher. But if you're a high-level player, it's completely different. Okay? Remember these ones down here? They can be worth 3,000 points. The paint cannot. It's technically a non-premium task. So right now, what we do know is that anytime that you do a 1,000 point assignment, you normally get a 3K assignment in return. Not always, but normally. Typically, it's an upgrade. So what you want to do is, if you're a low-level player, you got to be very careful when you rotate those. The more upgrades you have in your list at the time you rotate your 1K premiums, the better. But you don't want to aim for it, obviously, because you're trying to avoid getting upgrades in the list. If they are in your list, you want them to be of a lower value, not a higher one. So never cancel an upgrade that's at a low value. Only cancel them if they're at a high value, okay? Never cancel an upgrade if it just came in either, because the odds are you're going to get more in. Now, if you're a high-level player, we have 3 possibilities here. All 3 of these possibilities have 0 opportunity for them to come in because they're sitting down here for a lower value. So if you follow the theory that you only do your highest task, you always do your highest assignment, that means that we would choose one of these 4 over these 3 down here. If you followed that logic, right? That means we would have to go with the paint if we were a high or low level player. Now, the paint is not going to give you a good assignment if you're a high level player. It's just not. Okay? You need to get your premiums taken care of. Think about it like this. How often have you seen a list that has all assignments below 1,000 points? Never, right? You've never seen a list where all the assignments are below 1,000 points. Now, if your assignments down here that are capable of being worth 3,000 are here for 1,000, what is it going to take? What is your list going to have to look like before you can start bringing these into rotation? It's not going to be possible, really. I mean, it's not really, because you're going to rotate in the repair, the keys, the coins, and they come back so quickly that you're just going to keep rotating those in for the extra 100 points. And what's going to happen to your score when you do that? Because those assignments come back within 2-3 rotations usually. You're going to do that assignment, you're going to get your whopping 100 extra points, and that assignment's going to come back. So each time you complete it, you're dropping your average by like 900 points. So what would have been the smarter thing to do? The smarter thing to do would have been to say, you know what? That assignment's just going to keep coming back. And every time I do it, it's going to lower my average. I need to complete one of these assignments so that it has the possibility to come back for 3,000 points, right? Now, which one of these 3 do I complete? Well, probably the one that has the highest chance of returning, right? So what do we need to look at? Algorithm. What is the rate in which, of these 3 tasks, which one comes back the fastest? The VU, okay? Now, let's say that we rotate the VU, and we get a few good assignments, and then it comes back for 1,000 points. Do we rotate it again? No, not yet. We then would go to one of the other 2 down here. Which one? Well, we need to look at algorithm. But what else do we need to look at? Opportunity, right? So which one of these has a higher likelihood of giving you a good assignment? The Green Valley. So we're going to go with the Green Valley. So you rotate the Green Valley, and you get a 1,600 chair assignment, or you get a 1,500, a 1,500 coin assignment. So now you have an assignment that is still at rotatable value, but it's like 500 points higher than the London here, but it's non-premium. So it can't be worth 3,000 points, and it's at rotatable value. Do you keep taking a hit on your score for no possibility of it being a 3K task? No. You then come down here and you rotate the London. Okay? Once all of your low premiums have been rotated in, then you can go and say, if you don't have any more main tasks, like it didn't offer you anything good, now you've opened up all of the opportunity that you have down below. Okay? So now you're looking at a list with just non-premiums. All non-premium rotatables. Which means what? All tasks that cannot be worth 2,000 points, or cannot be worth 3,000 points, and they're all within the list below 2,000 points. So they're all rotatable non-premiums. Now, what do you need to figure out there? Which one is correct and why? So when you're looking at a list of all non-premium rotatables, you don't want those assignments to come back at a high rate, correct? So what you would do is you would look at your highest one with the lowest algorithm rate, because we don't want them to come back. So if we have, let's say, a 1,500 monster versus a 1,300, a 1,500 monster versus a 1,200 on common war attack or something. Let's just do an 800 common war attack, right? That's a non-premium assignment. It's at rotatable value, and its algorithm is low. So, opportunity. Is the opportunity good or bad? Well, the algorithm is low, right? So it has a lower likelihood of returning than the monster does. The monster's going to come back within a few tasks. And when it comes back, it's either going to come back for the same value, or it's going to come back for a higher value, and in that case, it's just a matter of time before it comes back with a lower value, because it's going to keep coming back every so many tasks. So you're going to end up in a situation where you've either killed it, or you have to call it back for an enormous amount of cash, or it's replacing its spot in your list for an amount that it was already there for. Which in that case, all you've done is lower your average and basically just burnt several assignments to end up right back where you started, with the same list, looking at the same situation, except for, like I said, you've lowered your average. So what you would do is you would sacrifice those half those points, the 700 points, for the monster, and you would pick the common war attack, because it actually has a better chance of bringing in something decent, okay? But if you follow the philosophy of just do the highest assignment, you're going to screw yourself royally, like really bad, okay? Anybody who tells you to always pick your highest task doesn't know their head from their ass. They really don't. They don't know what they're talking about. Because here's the thing when people say that. A lot of people, when they say that, they mean in theory. They don't mean literally. They mean most of the time, pick your highest assignment, but sometimes don't. But they don't classify or clarify, I guess I should say. They don't clarify what they mean in the sometimes zone. Why sometimes are they not choosing their highest assignment? Because sometimes it's not a good idea. Why? They're not explaining that because they really don't know how. They're just doing basically what they do is they pick their highest assignment, and when their week starts to go bad, when their average starts to drop, and their points start to go down really bad, they just start picking random assignments, hoping that they can get something better to pop up. But they don't pay attention to what they chose and why the outcome was the outcome that it was. They don't pay attention to any of the vital information that they need to pay attention to. So when you look at your entire list, you're going to break it down into 3 categories at first, okay? Aside from the categories that you've already got it into. You've already got your main, your rotatables, and your predictive side. Now you have your 3 main categories that you need to break it down to. Value, which is the value of the assignment. We've already done that with the main and the rotatables. The value opportunity, which remember when I said you can't have can't have like all of the same valued assignment. Like you always have like a combination of them, right? That's value opportunity. So if your value is good, then your value opportunity is good, right? If your value is bad, then value opportunity is bad. So it matches the value side. Now, trying to pull this up here. Just a second. Opportunity is the right here. Okay. All right, we got value opportunity. So when you look at the list as a whole, you're going to break it down into 3 categories: value opportunity, and opportunity. Opportunity is the possibility of opening up better tasks. So by completing the common war attack versus the monster, we have a better opportunity with the war. Because the monster is such a high algorithm and a low possibility for value, it's highly likely that we're going to not only get that assignment back, but it's not going to give us anything good in between either, usually. So basically what opportunity is when you complete an assignment, the likelihood of getting a good assignment in return. If the opportunity is low, then the chances for a good assignment in between are low. Just know that nothing is ever certain in the contest of mayors, okay? It's all based on odds. All you're doing is arranging your list in such a way where you've increased your odds for good versus bad. Now, a lot of people, what they do, and this is one of the most common things that I see people do. They will, let's say that you have like a percentage meter, okay? And I say that if you choose this assignment, you have an 80% chance of getting a good assignment in return that is also a main task and also premium. 80%, okay? And you say, you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to do this other one. And you get a good assignment in return, and that doorway works out great for you. Does that mean that you made the right call? No. Why? Because you got lucky. You got lucky on that 20%. Now, normally the percentage is like 2%. So usually what will happen is people will see a situation and they'll say, okay, I did this, and the 99% chance of it being good, and it turned out bad. So next time when I'm in this exact situation, I'm going to do the opposite. And then it turns out bad because 99% of the time it's, just the way it is. It's never certain, okay? You have right and wrong choices based on odds. When you mess with those odds based on what happened the previous time, you're just going to keep screwing yourself over, okay? So just because you had a good outcome for your choice that was wrong does not mean your choice was right. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you had a 2% chance of that working out, and this happens all the time in comm training, I'm marking somebody as a mistake, okay? And they say, well, last time I did this, it worked out good for me. Well, now it's not working out good for you because it's a mistake. And then they keep making that mistake and making that mistake. And then they realize, okay, yeah, this isn't working out. So then they realize, damn, I really did get lucky that one time. And they change it and they stop making that mistake. Then we get a new recruit in and they do the same thing. And now they're sitting there saying, don't do that. Trust me, you're going to regret it. It'll come back to bite you in the butt. And what happens? Then that person starts going, all right, yep, I learned my lesson. It's kind of like you tell somebody, don't touch the burner, it will burn you. And the first time, for some reason, like they just barely got hurt at all, like it didn't really burn them at all. Now they think they can just touch the burner all the time. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't work that way. Okay? So you still made a mistake, whether you had a good or bad outcome. When the odds of the outcome being good are significantly higher, always go with what has the best odds. All right? Now, when you pick your assignments based on what is convenient, that is when you're going to start throwing out odds. All right? The odds of getting a good assignment don't matter anymore. All that matters is this is what's convenient. So, for example, let's say you're pairing up your assignments to do VU launch and repair. So you have a repair for 1,200 and you have a VU launch for 2,000. So you do the launch VU, and now you want to do the repair because why not? It's there. You have to repair anyway, so why not just do the repair assignment? Because it's not good odds. It's just going to keep coming back and it's worth a low value. If you choose your assignment based on convenience, you're going to screw yourself over completely, okay? So always remember that. So you've broken down your entire list, value, opportunity, and opportunity, okay? Now you have to say, I've got it down to these few assignments. So I know that it's going to come down to preferably these two. Top 3 at best, okay? So you've got it broken down to these 3 assignments. These 1, 2, 3 assignments, whatever. Now you restart and you say, out of these 3 assignments, or 2 assignments, which one is the highest in value? Okay? Then you mark that one with an up arrow or a +1. And you say, okay, that's a positive, right? This one is the highest in value. And you guys check out the comm math videos because this is very, very, very important. Value opportunity is going to match that, so mark that. Then you say opportunity. Okay? Now what else? Value difference. What is the difference between this assignment and that assignment? So let's say that we're talking about a war delivery for 2,500 and a launch common war attack for 2,400. Okay. Well, we know that the war delivery is premium, so it has the ability to be worth, 3,000 points. So there's a plus. The common war attack is a non-premium, so it cannot be worth 3,000 points. The value difference is 100 points, right? War's ending soon. That is the game category, right? So the game category, what is going on in your game specifically that's going to change the outcome? Can you complete the war deliveries before war ends and also complete the launch war attack? If yes, then you would do the deliveries first, then the common war attack, right? Okay. Now, what else do we have to look at? The history of the assignment. How many times have you completed this specific assignment? And if you have completed it a lot of times, has it been good to you or bad to you? Or even if it has been good to you, it doesn't mean you're always going to keep doing it. Let's say that you have a Tokyo delivery for 3,000 points, and it's costing you 60 cash every time you do the assignment. And you're stuck in this loop where you keep getting this assignment back. You've done it like 8 times or something. Like, you need to stop. You can't afford to spend 4,000 cash on deliveries, right? That's a rare occurrence, but it's just an example. Let's say that you've done VU a bunch of times, right? And it keeps coming back for, let's say every time you've done VU, it's always come back for 1,000 points. That means the history of this assignment this week is not good. So you're going to leave that one to sit for either the duration of the contest or several assignments because it just keeps coming back for a low value. That is why that is important. So always pay attention to the history. Doorways. Now, this is why everybody needs to keep albums. Okay, you have to take screenshots of every single choice that you make. Keep a top and bottom screenshot of your list. Preferably take a lower screenshot of your list every 3 tasks if working at the top of your list, and every time if you have to reach down to the bottom of the list. The doorway is the placement on the list. For example, If you do the very top assignment 5 times in a row, that is doorway number 1. If every assignment that you got on doorway number 1 was good, you need to remember that, because that is going to be your good doorway. Then you're going to get an assignment that is not decent on that doorway, and it's going to cause you to change doors. You're going to go to your next best option. Once all of your main tasks have been utilized, you need to consider your good doorway. You need to say, you know what? That's my good doorway. Can I do that assignment? Can I factor that in to make things, go better, right? So you always have to factor in doorways. So you're looking at all of these categories at once. You're saying, okay, this one's good in value. It's good in value opportunity. The opportunity is good. I can do it right now within my game. The history's been good. The doorway's been good. There's not really any downtime. So odds are you're going to choose that assignment. Then it gets a little more complex when you say, okay, this doorway's been terrible to me. Downtime is significant. Opportunity is not good. You have all of these things that you have to look at. And once you break them all down, you get it down to, like I said, those 2 assignments, and you're comparing these subcategories, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to choose this assignment because of this reason, or these reasons. And I'm not choosing this one because of these reasons. 9 times out of 10, when somebody makes a mistake in my comm training course, and I say, why did you pick this? What's their response? What do you think it is? I don't know. Are you fucking serious right now? What do you mean you don't know? How could you not know why you're not choosing something, or why you're choosing something when you're supposed to be looking at everything? Like, you're not just supposed to be closing your eyes and picking an assignment, or just picking an assignment based on its value. You're literally supposed to be breaking it down into all these categories. So how can you look at me and say, I don't know? I have no idea why I chose that. You should always have a very good idea of why you're choosing something. Like, I chose it because of A, B, C, and D. Thank you. Right? So you have to go through each and every one of these categories and decide what is the reason for doing it. Now, one of the next ones is going to be, like we've talked about, algorithm. How frequently does this assignment come back? If it's got good opportunity, good value, and it comes back quickly, then that's great, right? That's a lot of pros in the pro column. What else? You can skip over the streaks because we don't have that. Risk. Now, this is a category you're going to look at a lot. Risk. What risk do you take on by completing this assignment? Now, risk used to be a lot worse with the streaks, and I do mean a lot worse. Right now, risk is minimal with a lot of assignments, but one of the assignments that has a high risk is the War Booster. It has a high chance of bringing in a high upgrade. For high-level players, that's not a risk, that's a pro, right? Or positive. Now, with a low-level player who doesn't have very many upgrades in the list, that will likely result in a high upgrade. Now, I had somebody this week who screwed up really bad. They made a lot of mistakes, and it showed exactly why they were getting the bad assignments that they were getting. Because they were choosing their assignments not like they should have been, like they were doing shit way off. Now, uptime and downtime is when your list will pick up based on the game's, like, up, down, the game's time frames. So basically what happens is the game tries to keep you at, like, a median level, like somewhere in between here and here. So, like, usually it's between 2,000 and 3,000 points average, right? If you get 3K, 3K, 3K tasks, right now you've done 3 assignments, 9,000 points, your average is 3,000 points per task. That's not going to last very long. You're going to eventually start getting lower and lower assignments, and your average will slowly start to drop, right? Now, if you rotate your assignments properly and the game is working properly, you should keep between 2,000 and like 2,700 average. You have to be very careful how you collect your milestone assignments, and we'll talk about that in a later video. But basically, you have to rotate properly, otherwise you'll end up in a situation where you either drop your average so much that the game just keeps your average lower, or you go too high with the milestone tasks and you just start getting garbage. Okay? So there's like a fine line, stupid train. There's like a fine line between when you should when the benefit of rolling in another milestone and collecting the one that you currently have outweighs the benefit of collecting the points. So if you can get away with collecting your milestone points, do it. First off, do it when all 3 levels are completed. Okay? Do it all at once. That way you can, unless you're below your 2K average. So if you need to leave it to sit until all 3 are completed, then go for it. Otherwise, what you can do is collect basically you get 3 active ones, okay? And if you have all 3 of them not having anything being done towards them, like they're all maxed out, and you're not collecting your points, then you're not going to be getting credit for the ones that would have rolled in after that. So you want to always be getting credit for something the best that you can, okay? Hang on. Okay, now, the rest of this document is basically everything that you need to know about each assignment in the longer version. So you can use the charts or you can use the document itself. But in the document, you're going to see a comm math section, task assessment. It's going to explain to you what a comm breakdown is. Reverse rotation, which is where you just get garbage no matter what you choose. It doesn't matter. The game is just chosen that you're not going to do good this week. That does happen, okay? Now, sometimes reverse rotation is something that you did specifically to cause it, and sometimes it's not. So I want to show you guys something here. Just a second. All right, we're almost done with this video, but I wanted to explain something to you guys. Okay, so here we've got... It's a double points week, so I'm going to say everything as its base value. So 3,000 would be its normal value on the storage. So right now, he goes with the storage increase. That's correct. Now he gets the high algorithm repair at its lowest value point, which would be 1,200. So it's a last resort rotatable. He's a low-level player, so he cannot do upgrades. Okay? He goes with the war card disaster. All right, cool. Now he gets a launch attack in Club Wars for 1,000. So being that it just came in, this one's actually going to kind of be left to sit for a while because we've got all these other ones we need to deal with. Now he does expand city. Okay, great. Now he gets the paint for 1,440. Now he's showing us screenshots of his milestone assignments. All right, so here he makes a mistake, and he goes with the London delivery for 1,000. What do we know about doing premiums, 1K premiums? What did I tell you earlier? That it usually will result in a 3K or higher upgrade, right? And as a low-level player, we have to be careful, and we have to what? Consider shop productions as premium. Right now, he has a paint assignment above for 3,300 points. So now he's doing one for 1,000. Why? I don't know. So he does the London, and he gets what? That's what he got. 7,200 Latin. So a 3,600 Latin on a normal week. What did I just tell you guys? I just told you that can happen. That is a good chance of happening. And that's exactly what happened. So now he does his another 1K premium, but this one just came in for 1,000 points. This is what we refer to as the history category. So even though it has good opportunity, he's ignoring this premium. Like I said, he's low level. We consider this premium for this reason. Because he can't do upgrades, we have to consider a different task premium. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of create this mess in their head. So he's ignoring the paint for I don't know why. And he does the launch attack in Club Wars. And he gets the Old Town for 1,200. Okay? So, again, avoidable, but he did it anyway. Now, he did something, because we're missing a screenshot here. Oh, it was an epic project. He had done the epic down below for 800 points, which is a non-premium high algorithm assignment. Why he did that, I don't know, because it's going to come back, and it's going to come back probably for a lower value. But anyways, he does the epic, and he gets a high algorithm non-premium keys. Okay? Again, still ignores the paint. Now he does what? A last resort rotatable repair. Remember when I said you don't do the repair at its lowest value point? That it has a high algorithm? And not to do that? Yeah. So he does that. Over the paint. Over the tape measures. Why? Doesn't make sense, does it? Okay? What does he get back? That high algorithm, 800 epic. The one he just rotated, like 2 tasks ago. Well, wouldn't it be nice if we knew that was going to happen so we could avoid doing that? Oh, wait, we do. We do know that's going to happen because the guide tells us that. We could have avoided this, but we didn't. Okay. What happened? Wouldn't it be nice if we had a guide that told us that the repair is just going to come right back? Damn. Doesn't that suck? See what I'm saying? All he had to do was listen to the guide. That's all he had to do. Again, he goes with a low premium over the paint premium that he has. Can't see the top of his list here. And he gets a war booster. Non-premium, always worth 1,000 points. Not a high algorithm, but what do we know about the war booster? It's high risk. It has a high chance of bringing in an upgrade. He gets a premium on the glass, premium for low-level players, but it's at a really low value. It's not something we need to take downtime for right now. He probably has feed prepped, which means it wouldn't make sense to pick up all that right now. So he needs to do the paint. He goes with the war booster. And he gets back the high algorithm epic. Now, if you don't recall, he did the epic for 800, then 800, then 1,200. So out of 3 assignments, he's gotten 2,800 points when he's supposed to have 6,000 points for 3 assignments. Remember, I'm referring to everything as base price or base value. So he's dropped his average significantly just with the epic projects alone. That doesn't include the 2 times that he did the repair, or the time he did the repair for the 800. So all he accomplished was he lowered his average, then he got that same assignment back, then he lowered his average again. Right? Now, maybe he thinks he's in reverse rotation, which I don't know why he would think that, because he has a lot of high-valued assignments in the list, whether he likes them or not, whether they're things he can do or not, they were there. He's not in reverse rotation, but if he thinks he is, he might be doing his non-premium high algorithms. The issue with this is that he's not. So all he's doing is lowering his average, okay? So now he does the tape measures. Now explain to me the logic in this. He has a premium shop production for tape measures. And he has a premium shop production for paint. Paint is 3,300, tape is 2,800. Why is he sacrificing almost 600 points? Why? I don't know either. Okay. Now he says repeat task at 1K. That's not a repeat task. Okay. Or the repair is not a repeat task. So a repeat task is when the algorithm for an assignment is low and you keep getting that assignment back. So like, let's say he did the paint and then he got paint again, and then he did the paint again and he got paint again. That would be a repeat task. It's out of the normal algorithm range and it's coming in more frequently. That's a repeat task. Now it says every task that comes back was 2,800, so 1,400, except the Latin, reverse rotation, question mark. No, the list is not operating abnormally. It's doing exactly what we know it's supposed to do. When you rotate the repair, you get the repair back. When you rotate the epic, you get the epic back, right? When you do things like that, those are the outcomes. When you rotate low premiums, when you shouldn't yet, you're going to get high upgrades. It's doing exactly what we know it's supposed to do. And he's over here saying reverse rotation. No, not at all. Normal rotation with wrong choices made. That's what's happening here. So at this point, he cancels the upgrade. Okay. Then he does the minerals. I'm assuming he did the paint somewhere in there. Okay. And this is when he came to me. Was right here. I told him, stop doing everything. You need to cancel that upgrade and do the paint. Which I'm assuming he just didn't add the paint screenshot. So he cancels the upgrade. Must have done the paint because it's gone. Okay. Then I told him to do the minerals because obviously rotating those up above are not going to do him any good right now. So he does the minerals. Then he gets shoes. Okay. Then he gets a Tokyo delivery for 2,000. Then he gets the epic back, but now it's actually worth decent points because we're doing things right now, remember? Okay. Now he gets war deliveries for 3,000. Okay. Expand city for 4,000. Now, unfortunately, that task has a high algorithm, so it is what it is. So he does expand city. Now he gets expand mountain for 5,000. Now, what have you noticed so far? Since I jumped in and redirected his choices, what has happened? Things are moving properly now, right? Okay. So this particular doorway has been good, which means this is a good doorway. So we need to remember that when we rotate again. So we've got the mountain. Now we get expand city again. Now, unfortunately, with the expand city, it's going to keep coming back. So what he needs to do is he needs to rotate the expand city and then in a couple of assignments, rotate a different doorway to try to get that expand city on a different door. So he does expand. Now he gets a 5K war assignment. Expand city again. Need to rotate something else. Okay. Expand beach. Epic. Okay. Expand city again. He needs to break that cycle. I mean, if he can keep doing it, then great. When you have this situation, he asked me this morning, will it expire or whatever? No, but it will not start your epic timer, your cooldown timer, until you click upgrade. Okay. Now he gets feed. He needs to take downtime for. Now would be a perfect time to rotate something else to bring in that expand city. Probably the London delivery, because the VU hasn't been very good to him. Okay? I'm going to go hit him up and let him know and upload this video. So hopefully this video was informative for you guys. If you have any questions, please put it down below. But hopefully it gives you a better understanding of kind of what's going on.